welcome to episode 16 of my podcast, and I'm sure it will be a good one. I hope you've been doing well this past week since last episode. Two things I like to address quickly. If I seem off, is because I am, but I'm still going to film anyways, I planned on filming, so I'm going to film, I ain't going to skip it or anything, so apologise for that, just bear with me. And number two, if you can hear any outside noises, because my windows are open, but I don't think you can because I just checked and I didn't hear anything, so yeah. But if you can hear something slightly, I do apologise, but I've got to keep my windows open, otherwise I'm going to be like a furnace or something, because my bedroom gets really hot for some stupid reason. But yeah, anyways, what we're going to go into today is obviously about, always, I've got my notes here. Yeah, we're going to go about God can speak to you through anything. And I really needed help with this like a month ago. Yeah, I think I might have gone into it before in an older episode. I definitely did a video on TikTok though for like my TikTok account, so yeah. But anyways, we're going to go into it today in detail to help you understand that God can speak to you through anything. So get straight into it. The first thing I want to go into is God can speak to you through anything. Right? If he can speak to you through it, he will. Right? I want you he can speak to you through music, a book, like he did with me. Obviously the Bible, God can speak to you through that. It's his word in there. It can speak to you through your dreams, people, events and situations. Speak to you through anything. Right? So I want you to understand that it's not limited. It's not limited to like few things that he can speak to you through anything, Like even like this podcast, it can speak to you through, or like a content creator you admire, or like your parents, or anything, maybe even like a video game or something. He can speak to you through anything because he's the creator of all. So yeah, I want you to understand that first, because if you do, it makes everything else better and it puts everything together. So yeah, but the first thing you need to understand is God can speak to you through anything, absolutely anything. And the second thing you need to go through is he meets you halfway, which I think is very nice of him. It's not like you do everything and he's waiting there, or you have to go through the wars, the trenches and all that to get to him and all that. He will meet you halfway. He will speak to you through something you can understand. Now let me tell you a quick little story. So, I wanted God to speak to me, right? I wanted him, not to prove that he's there, but I needed his comfort. I needed to hear him to help me and all that, right? Because if you're going to ask God to speak to you to prove that is real, that is wrong, right? It says in the Bible that you don't question God's presence, you don't question God, if he's real or not. But if you're asking him to speak to you and that, ask him to be present, to comfort you, to help you and to guide you, I think that's perfectly fine. I think that's good, and I think that's something you should ask for. But anyways, back to the story. I asked him, can you please speak to me through my dreams, through the thoughts, anything, just please speak to me. I need you to speak to me. But it did. It did end up doing it, but not how I thought it was. And what it did was obviously meet me halfway. I love reading. I've read nearly 30 books now in the past 2 years. I read one like around once a month. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's shorter than that. But yeah, I love reading, and God spoke to me through a book. Now I'll get it out. I'm going to go through it in a bit. It's the book I love. It's my favourite book and all. I've finished. I've got like the last 10 pages, which I'll be reading today. But yeah, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Absolutely amazing. I love this book. But that's what God spoke to me through on that. So, it proves that he meets you halfway. He will meet you halfway. He will reach you through things that he can reach you through, that things that you understand him by. And that goes on to the third thing, which is if you're going to pray for him to speak to you, to comfort you, to be present with you, at least ask him to speak to you through something you can understand. Because back to the story I was on about, I asked him to speak to me through dreams and through thoughts and all that. Firstly, if he spoke to me through my thoughts, I would not have a clue if he's telling me something or not, because I struggle to understand if it's me, my thoughts, like, yeah, my God or the devil. I do struggle with that. It's just the way I am. So if he spoke to me through then, it wouldn't get to me, because and it'd be pointless, and it would be an opportunity missed. Similar with the Bible, I suppose. Sometimes I get that, sometimes I don't. It depends, I suppose. But I'm getting better at, like, trusting it and all that. You know, it's just one of my things. You know, I'm called Thomas, and I'm just like Thomas in the Bible. So yeah. And obviously, in my dreams, I probably would have understood it more, but I might not have took it to heart as much. So yeah, but if that's like you, what you need to do, and what I should have done, is ask him to speak to me. Like, you should ask him to speak to you through something you can understand him by. So let's say you love listening to music, and music really gets to your heart. Ask him to speak to you through some music. If there's someone you really love, if there's like a person you love, a family member, a partner, a friend, and you can really understand them, ask him to speak to you through them. And an event or a place or anything, you know, whatever you understand, whatever you can get a grasp of, ask him to speak to you through that. That's what we've got to do. So from now on, if I'm going to ask him to speak to me, I'd ask him to speak to me through probably Stoicism, books, and have like a podcast or like a content creator I love. That would be like the things, because I can understand that and that can hit me, you know. But that's the thing, you know, there's like the two things. He meets you halfway, and if you're going to pray to him, to ask him to speak to you, you know, ask him to speak to you through something you can understand, if you know what I mean. You know, otherwise you'll miss it, or it might not happen, because it's not going to waste opportunity. You know, it wants to give you the best. So yeah, but those are two things you need to understand as well. Then the fourth thing now. Yeah, he spoke to me through this book, and I've just almost lost the thing for it. Almost just lost the bookmark, but yeah, that book he spoke to me through. And how I know this? Well, one, the author, he's a Christian, which kind of makes sense, you know. I'm a Christian, you know, God can speak through his words to me, you know, through his book and that, which I think is a nice thing. Number two, the second thing is, what I was struggling with in life, that book would help me with that thing. So like, when I was struggling with like sadness and like, I wouldn't say depression, but I was really down, you know. I don't want to put myself in that depression state, because if I do, it could end bad or whatever, you know. Yeah. But I was like really sad, I was really down, I was confused, I was lonely, I was all over the place. That was the book that flipped it around for me, and that was the book that got me on the right path. And it talked about all the paradigms, and you need to sort out how you view the world and what you focus on and all that, which is, it's like Stoicism as well, because it says stuff like focus on what you control, which is obviously one of the big things about Stoicism, which is focusing on what you control, you know, that. So it helped, it built on what I already know, and it gave me a lot of stuff I didn't already know. But there was stuff like that when I was struggling with, you know, like my happiness and all that, and my emotions and stuff, and that really helped me out with that, and helped me gain focus on stuff again and pick myself back up. It also speaks a lot about marriage and all that, and like being a good partner to, like being a good friend and being a good partner to the person you love. And I think that's really nice for me. It speaks to me as well, because I can't wait to get married. I can't wait to meet my future wife and love her for the rest of my life. So yeah, that is another thing that helped. Another big thing that really helped was addiction as well. You know, I do struggle with lust, I put it out there, I just do. But this is the book that has helped me as well. You know, it has helped me with bits of addiction. Like, for example, if I can get it quickly, it says here, this is a big thing about addiction, so listen up. You cannot play with the animal in you without becoming wholly animal. Play with falsehood without forfeiting your right to truth. Play with cruelty without losing your sensitivity of mind. He who wants to keep his garden tidy doesn't reserve a plot for weeds. That helps me flee and battle from lust. I'm not perfect, I'll be honest with you. I'm still struggling, but it has helped me, so I will give it that. But I could just tell through this book when God was talking to me through it. I just felt it in my heart, and like when I was struggling, this book was there for me, which I'm truly grateful for. And that is when I realised, because I remember like the first day reading it, that's when I realised God will speak to me and can speak to you through anything. And then he had a big search about the internet and using ChatGPT and all that to like understand and get to grips with how he can speak to you through anything and how he can meet you halfway and all that. So yeah, and that's what I wanted to help you with today, because it's true. You know, he can help you, and he will speak to you and meet you halfway. You know, he will speak to you through something you can understand. So let's say, yeah, speaks to me through books and all that. He's not going to speak to you through books if you don't read, or if you don't really understand them, or you don't love them as much as me. Maybe it is different. Maybe you can understand when God's speaking to you in your mind and all that. So, you know, he'll speak to you through your thoughts instead, but it don't with me. You know, it's different for everyone, but he will speak to you. And leading on to the last thing, which will help you with that, is keep a lookout. Alright, I want you to now understand and think about the stuff that he can speak to you through, the things that you can understand. You know, what you're obsessed with, you know, who are the people that you speak to the most that you love. Like, do you love music? You know, who's the content creator you love? Who's the person you watch the most? You know, what can, like, even like an art and anything, like, can literally, when I say anything, I mean anything. He can speak to you through anything. So what can he speak to you through? You know, what do you love? What do you live by? What helps you in life? You know, what hobbies do you have? You know, he can speak to you through those. So what you need to do is, if you're wanting him to speak to you, you know, if you're wanting him to help you and all that, and you want to understand that he's there for you, because he always will be, you know, focus on the things he can speak to you by. You know, not on your weaknesses, on your strengths. That's the big part. Focus on your strengths, the things that you're good at, the things that you love. And when you do that, you will see his words and you will feel him in your heart, and you will know that he's there. If you're just going to focus on the bad stuff where things are murky and all that, you know, or stuff that you don't understand, then you're going to really, really, really struggle with understanding that he's there and seeing and hearing his words. So please focus on the stuff you understand, focus on what resonates you, focus on your strengths. So yeah, that is the last bit. And obviously, be careful, you know, be wise. I mean, ask for wisdom, ask for understanding, ask for him to help you with, you know, hearing his words and noticing his words and all that, and, you know, hearing like speaking to you. But do be truly careful, because I'm not saying this to scare you, but sometimes it may be the devil you're listening to. But I do believe that when God's speaking to you, it's clear, like, you know. It's not like there's a doubt, like, oh, I don't know or anything. There might be a bit, but not really. Like, when I read in the book, I knew, and my heart, I knew that it was speaking to me. There weren't any doubt, you know. So yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think God will work. Well, he doesn't. It's not. I don't think he doesn't work with doubt or questioning and all that. It's certain. You know, at times you're not going to understand him, but like when he's speaking to you and all that, you will. Because obviously, it's going to meet you halfway, and it's going to be through something you can understand. But yeah, when you'll know when he's speaking to you. You just know. You just do. You know, and maybe you have to go to the Bible to kind of look at stuff, but I don't really get that at me. You know, people just goes, open your Bible and read, like, what am I going to open it to? What page am I going to read? Is it even going to resonate with me or not? You know, because yeah, I mean, I suppose you can do like Psalms and Proverbs and all that. They're like the main two people do, but it's what it is. I'm reading Jobs at the moment. I'm just going through order, you know, reading through it again. But you know, anyways, that is what I wanted to go through today. You know, to help you understand and to let you know that God will speak to you, and he can and will speak to you through anything, especially what you understand. So we will meet you halfway. So please focus on that bit, alright, what you understand. If you don't understand it, or if you worry about it, you know, like, I don't really understand my thoughts, and if God speaks to me or not, right, ignore that. You know, focus on what you know and understand, and he will speak to you through that, right? Whatever that may be. So yeah, It's quick, but it's what I want to go through, and I know it will help you 100% because it helped me get close to God, and it helped bring some peace in my heart and life. So yes, I really hope that this has helped. So yes, thank you for watching. As always, I'm going to recommend a book, and I'm going to give you a bit of wisdom. I don't really know if I can have a book that I recommend that goes with this, unless I've already recommended the Bible, so I can't really do that. But if you want to read it, of course, go and read it. But yeah, give me 2 secs. I found the perfect I found the perfect book, and yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of this, but I literally just looked to my right, up to my other bookshelf, and yes, it is here. I got this for free. I know, it's called The Original Jesus by Tom Wright. I don't know if he was a Catholic or a Christian. I don't know. It don't matter though. Alright. But yeah, it's an amazing book. It's about it helps you understand more about the story of Christ and all that. Like I go through the chapters. I'll tell you. Look. So, as you can see here, there's part 1. It's Jesus then and now. It speaks about Jesus then, and it speaks about him now, and like the kind of the modern day and stuff. And then obviously part 2 is about reading the Gospels with both eyes open, so it can help you with reading the Gospels as well. I remember an important part about it, which it sticks to my mind all the time, was about, I haven't done it yet because I've not got to that, I haven't got to the New Testament, but when you read like the New Testament and stuff, read it as if you're speaking to Christ. So read it firstly as if like how it is, he's speaking to the disciples and all that, but then read it as if he's speaking to you, and then ask questions, so then you're kind of like a conversation with him. I think that is really an important part, and I will definitely try that, obviously. But yeah, obviously that will help you understand more about the Jesus and the story, which I really appreciate. And I got this book for free, so yeah, that's the book I recommend today. It's a good job I thought of that. We had perfect lines with today, so yeah, it's a great book actually. It's good reading all. It's not too many pages. Yeah, it's got some nice pictures in it and stuff. There's a picture, for example. It's not just like a boring book, but it's just like just words in it. There's some good pictures and all that stuff in it, so it keeps it interesting. But yeah, that's the book I recommend, and the bit of wisdom I recommend you today. The bit of wisdom I will give you today is going to get from the Bible, because it is an episode about God, so that makes sense. And this is one. I've got 2 Bibles. I got this Bible for free. I got it at the same time I got that book I just recommended, so it's pretty cool. There's like this charity shop, and I had like a box, so like just getting the free stuff. We found those 2, so yeah. I think I got something else from it. No, I think I got another book from it which I haven't read because, yeah. Anyways, it is from Job, as I've said. I'm reading that at the moment, and it is Job chapter 8 verse 7. It is this will help you when you're going through struggles in life. And though your beginning was small, your latter days will be very great. So now you may be going through struggles. We all do. We all go through pain, worries, confusion, struggling to understand and all that, arguments, everything, the lot. We all go through these struggles. But later on, for the days to come, your life will be much greater. So understand that, alright? Now may be bad, but your future is much greater. And if it's not bad now, good, take advantage of it. But if you are going through struggles right now, whatever that may be, understand your latter days will be greater, and give all that thanks to God. So I thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all for watching. I hope this helped you. I really do, because it's something I needed about a month and a bit ago. So yeah, it's only fair for me to give you what I needed, So yeah, but I hope it helps you. I'm sure it does help you. And remember, God will speak to you through something you can understand. So be on the lookout, alright? Especially if you ask for it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hope to see you next episode. Have a lovely weekend. And the rest of your week. And I'll see you next time.